It's Gold here, and we're back with another PersonaCast.
Yes, sir. Exactly. That is exactly what we're doing because we're live right now.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes, we were. I said we're pressing. I'm pressing live button. You start talking, bro. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Gold, and we are back with another episode of PersonaCast. We are on episode 4. Today, we're going to be talking about the impact of vanilla and its legacy throughout the Persona series. So, we're going to be dabbling in vanilla, and then we're going to be talking about a little bit of Ultimax, but mostly vanilla episode for today. And with me today, I have our special guest, Werther Rust. So, Werther, could you give a quick introduction about yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Werther Russ. I mean, come on, you guys already know me because I know all of you saw the community reel. There's no need for introductions, but why not? I've played this game. I have the receipt somewhere. I got it like August? I don't know. I got it like a month after it came out, and I'm still playing this game. I'm still playing in Ultimax. I've been a net play warrior ever since 2.0 dropped in PS4, where I was actually able to travel offline for this game. Um, yeah, you already know the characters I play.
Akihiko?
Akihiko, I have a vanilla Akihiko. He just, actually, MBM would know. We played vanilla Tsuyo Otaku, if you remember that.
That was that was an experience.
Yeah, Fatal 5B was good.
Okay, bro. You got it.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah.
Vanilla is a very funny game, but I wasn't. I mean, some of us weren't around for the time Vanilla was released. Some of us were like pretty young or like just getting
I
into the fighting scene.
played Vanilla the year Ultimax came out. That's when I got into fighting games. I had a
Mm.
Vanilla Chie. I knew my auto combo, and I knew an AOA combo.
Oh, that's
And I
interesting.
was cooking
So you got into the game when Ultimax came out, because
like that. So like earlier that year before it came out is when I started playing.
that's kind of around when Vanilla came out in EU.
Oh wow.
The EU release was in 2013.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Vanilla Vanilla had an interesting release history. Um, but we'll dive a little deep into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But firstly, we just want to address like, how did Persona Arena impact the fighting game scene when it released?
So, wow. When it got announced, it was like, what was even on the market at the time? What was even there? I mean,
Blaze Blue.
2012, huh?
Blaze Blue.
Yeah,
Blaze Blue, right. But
Wait, when did Kuro Phantasma come out? Is
cr-
that
great question. I have this right here. Chrono Phantasm came out in 2012 of November in arcade in Japan. So, when did it come out in console? It came out on console 1 year later in 2013. Because you might ask yourself, what was Arxis doing that whole time? Well, they were working on Persona. Persona was on their mind. Vanilla, Persona 4 Arena. When I say vanilla, I'm talking about Persona 4 Arena. Uh, Vanilla came out back in March 1st, 2012, in arcades in Japan, but it came out on console that summer, July 26, 2012. Yeah. So Corona Phantasma was just not existing on console, even in Japan, until 2013.
wild?
So when you think about when this game came out, you had the previous BlazBlue. Uh-oh, what was before Chrono Phantasma?
Continuum Shift?
yep.
Yeah, yeah, you had that. I guess still playing that for fucking years, and then what Guilty Gear was on the market? Well, you had
Doesn't sign out.
Let's no, no, sign wasn't out
Oh,
yet.
delay base plus R.
So Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus that came out on consoles in 2012.
Oh my.
I don't have a month on that, but yeah,
So
and
Arxis was a little more off the map before.
a little bit. It was like yeah, you were essentially waiting for Blaze Blue to come to consoles, the latest Blaze Blue, the Chrono Phantasma, and I mean you had Plus R on arcade in 2012, like
Right.
Plus R being Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus R. So where were the Arxis games? Well, at this time you had Vanilla, you had Persona,
That
and
kind of explains why Persona was as popular as it was on release.
exactly.
Because people were just playing whatever the latest Arxis game was,
hmm
and they didn't have much at the time.
And when you consider all fighting games, what was there? Well, there was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, obviously. Everyone knows the biggest, most popular MVC game. Um, and Skullgirls was new in 2012 of I believe April. So there were new games coming out. 2012. I mean, Marvel's Capcom 3 didn't come out in 2012, but like you had Super Street Fighter 4. Like there were still like the fighting games were still fresh. They were still big.
Yeah.
Skullgirls was huge and really
You know,
popular.
it's funny you mentioned all of those games because I got into fighting games. I'm pretty sure it was late 2013 or early 2014, and I
Mm,
had my cousin and his buddies would just like play fighting games. They like to play fighting games together, and you know what games they were playing that they
mm,
all introduced me to? It was MVC3,
mm-hmm,
Vanilla,
mm-hmm.
Chrono Phantasma, and Skullgirls. That's what we were playing at the time.
Well, would you look at that? It all lines up. Oh, we can't forget. We can't forget the most important thing of all time. I want to talk about the impact of vanilla. Look no further to the Spike Game Awards.
A
the
what?
Spike, the Spike TV. Do you guys even know what Spike
I
TV
remember
is?
What
Spike
is
TV.
that,
They
dog?
they played. So it was okay. This is what they advertised it as. It was like a channel for like men.
Yeah,
It
the
was like
Man
a man
Channel.
channel. Yeah, and they
Bro.
play shit like 1,000 ways. That's where you would watch 1,000 Ways to Die.
It was like
Whoa,
the
that
Um,
channel. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
it was the OG way to watch UFC at the time.
Yep.
UFC was really popular there. They do their own pay-per-views, I assume now, but like, yeah, you had to watch UFC on Spike. And so Spike did a video game. They hosted the video game awards and best fighting game. Here are the nominees: Dead or Alive 5,
Oh.
Persona 4 Arena,
Yes, sir.
Street Fighter Cross
Oh
Tekken.
no, bro. I forgot about that game.
Yo,
Oh
and then
god.
in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which I loved. I loved that game. The community, it's one of the most mixed Tekken games I think in the whole series. You either love or hate it. And guess what? Persona 4 Arena won best fighting game. So, round of applause. You won the Spike Awards.
Mm.
And I mean, so yeah, I mean, looking at that of those list of games that came out that year of 2012, I didn't have Skullgirls, which is crazy to me, but whatever. Um, you could argue that in terms of new games coming out, they were fucking ass. Let's just be honest. Like Street Fighter Cross Tekken sucked, especially on release. That game was fucking dog shit,
We would have to
bro.
wait for Street Fighter 4 Ultra in like 2014. Oh,
Yeah,
Is that really when it came out?
yep.
Well, didn't Arcade
Wow.
Edition come out?
yeah,
too?
you had Arcade Edition. So if you like fighting Yun,
I forgot about that. Never mind.
Yeah, and if you actually look on the back of your Persona 4 Arena Vanilla case, it says that it won that game award.
yep.
So they're right there on the bottom.
And I know we got a little off topic. Back onto like the impact of its release. Um, a lot of people from other games got into Persona. For an example, Chris G, um, Tokido, Kazunoko,
Apology, man.
Apology Man, Justin Wong. These are all Street Fighter players. The Tokido KOF, yeah. Well, obviously we know him as Street Fighter, but he played KOF. Kazunoko is, I guess you could say, every fucking game. But yeah, Justin Wong, Chris G, American Street Fighter players, Marvel players. Um, a lot of people got into this game. Maximilian. Did you guys see his video Maximilian made on Vanilla, where he's just like net playing as Akihiko on ranked?
What?
Yeah,
That
look
video
it
is
up.
still up? Let me check.
It should still up. Should still be up. A lot of content creators, big Street Fighter players. Alex Valle was an Aki player, and what did you play Aki? That's a T-Lock question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's a T-Lock question. T-Lock would know the answer to that one. For whether you played Aki or Narukami, but
Wait, hold on, let
yeah.
me pull this up. Maximilian.
Wow, he's doing the trials on his part 1. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's just doing combo trials.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when that video came out, and because that was back when Marvel was like really big, Marvel content creation. Max would always just do like ranked video. He's just playing ranked, kind
On
of
the
shooting the
Xbox
shit.
360, holy!
Oh, you Xbox 360, you say, huh?
I had this game for a few hours and I'm already getting blown up by Max, my lucky day. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to spot somebody I know in net play right now, to be honest.
I think I remember I was talking with T-Lock a while back, and he mentioned that all of like the top players from Persona, or the people that, or at least the people that play Persona often, just came from other games. Like there wasn't really many people who really started with Persona and became a top player in Persona, if you get what I mean.
Oh, for sure. I would have to ask like the Japanese players, like like what was Shiki doing before Persona? We all know Soji is a long time BlazBlue player. He's been playing Arcune since the dawn of man. There's footage, I believe, of him playing CT Arcune. Like, yeah, you know. I mean, you even look at like Goichi. People like, Goichi's like, oh, he's like the best Dragon Ball guy, but he's from Melty Blood. And Lord Knight,
And
Giuna,
Waka too. Yeah.
yeah, Lord Knight and Giuna, they come from Melty Blood. Banana Ken, he comes from Street Fighter. There's a reason why he's called Banana Ken and not Banana Jose, because he played Ken in Street Fighter. Yeah, it's really hard to pinpoint like the Persona player, like who is the apex starter Persona top player. Yeah, they all come from different games, really, and you can kind of see that when it released. It's like I would not say 2012 was a fighting game drought. But I'm just saying, like, in a world of sequels and not new things coming out, it was definitely a huge outlier from a lot of other fighting games, especially because when Wada approached Mori, the Blaze Blue guy, I believe he was the director of Arxis at the time. Um, for making a fighting game based on the Persona 4 series, that development really halted Arxis on their BlazBlue title. It put a big pause because they thought they were just gonna pump the game out and be like, "Okay, here you go." They didn't realize like, oh, they're putting all like they're going hard in this game. Like Wada, like mega serious. He's like, we're busting out the artists. We're getting like, our music guy to do OSTs. Like it took a long time to finish the game, from what they originally thought. Um, so yeah, it was the thing. It really took that slot from BlazBlue for a moment.
That makes sense as to why there's so many like overlap in like Persona players and like Blaze Blue players then.
Exactly.
That checks
Exactly.
out. And kind of like kind of Guilty Gear too. Well, because that was also the time when Guilty Gear was like kind of in limbo, wasn't it? Right?
Oh, for
Right
sure.
before,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like I said about Plus R and Accent Core, they just got a console release. Excuse me, like Plus R just got put into arcades in 2012. Accent Core got its console release in 2012. So, and that's the previous version. So yeah, it was kind of like, what do we, what's there to play for the anime fellas? And by the way, this is my favorite thing to always bring up because I love talking about this. When Persona 4 Arena dropped, a lot of people are skeptical about the auto combos. They thought like auto combos, you just mash A, and I get a super. What? I get a special? I get a super. What is that? That's for babies. And it's really funny to think about today, Grand Blue, BB Tag. Um, Under Night has Smart Steer. Does Dragon Ball have auto combos?
Chrono
For sh-
Phantasma had stylish mode.
Ye Well, I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to Blaze Blue, but people yeah, so, compared to even today's fighting games that come out that seem a lot easier than Persona, especially execution-wise, like BB Tag and Grand Blue is a lot simpler than Persona. And Persona used to be considered the baby game. But a lot of people forget when CT was announced, when CT had a panel at some fucking anime convention or some shit, there was someone in the crowd who said, Blaze Blue CT, what is this? Babies? Is this a baby game for us hardened Guilty Gear players?
Mm.
And when I think about Blaze Blue, when I think about CT, there's not a single thing in that game that is easy to understand. There are two bursts. There's a barrier burst. There's a burst. There's Arakune, the fucking character, and half the booklet doesn't even explain half of the system mechanics in the game. If you thought Blaze Blue was a baby game, if you thought Persona was a baby game, what are they even putting out now?
Yeah,
It's
Bull.
crazy.
They're putting out Guilty Gear Strive, bro.
It's crazy. It's kind of crazy. I hate to sound like that boomer who's like, "Arr, arr, arr, arr," but like, dude, come on. I've heard the same thing for years. And like, I think CF is one of the most like complicated fighting games to ever play. And that used to be considered the baby game. And Blaze Blue players called Persona the baby game. Like, come ah, it's crazy to think about.
It's very weird because now I think about it, I remember like way, way back when, like Guilty Gear being portrayed like magazines as a kind of like extreme game for like hardcore people. And then as time went on, like fighting games just went progressively like a lot more not casual, but they just kind of leaned more
Accessible.
accessible. Yeah. So yeah, people it kind of moved away from being, oh, here's this extreme fighting game for like hardcore people to, you can pick up and play this. Your brother can pick up and play this. I mean, he's
Yeah.
just kind of trying to appeal to a wider audience. It's very interesting looking back on it.
Hmm.
And I think with Persona being a lot simpler and more accessible as well, I think that I'd say that probably helped out a lot in gaining a lot
No,
more new fan. Oh, what?
I was just thinking that's literally the reason I picked the game up.
Mm.
Because my friend, my cousin was like, "Yo, this game's got like auto combos, and here's what you do to like do a really easy combo."
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I kept playing with him, and that's why I'm sitting here today. So
Hmm. And compared to um, Blaze Blue being its own like story and IP created by Mori, um, the game being a little more complicated and more for feeling more hardcore for fighting game players, that is fine. But for Persona, obviously their intention was to make it simpler than Blaze Blue, because their expectation for sales was well, RPG fans. So people who played Persona 4 because this was a canon sequel to the RPG Persona 4. They definitely wanted them to not feel too overwhelmed when they're just going through story mode, like, "Oh, I could just press the A button and, I'll get a super and a combo," and that's cool and flashy. So they had to make it more casual. It's just crazy that our, um what's the word I'm thinking of? Our perception of casual and easy was so much more different back then than it is today.
Yeah. I mean,
Where
I remember when Persona 4 was like, or like P4A was coming out, and talking with some like more vetted fighting game players, and they would complain about auto combo, or they
mm,
would kind of put it down as a mechanic. And it is funny looking back, because most games nowadays have, like, people don't really even mention it anymore.
yeah, I don't know. It's definitely some, like, weird, like, ego thing with, like, yeah.
No.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like people don't like being beat by easy mechanics, right? That's just always been a thing. Like people don't want to be beat by you mashing auto combo. Like people don't want to be like, oh, well, you beat me by pressing the A button. Well, I have to do my large combo, which I practice, which doesn't make sense at all. But that's just the
Uh,
way people are. You can even kind of see it with modern controls now in Street Fighter 6.
yeah, people are still getting mad about it, aren't
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
they?
I think I think modern controls is a really good take on it, though. I think it's really good. I think it's kinda I guess people would say it's unhealthy because of, just one button reaction, anti-air super, but, like,
Yeah, that's where
it
it gets pretty, like, gray. It's a gray area.
yeah. Of course, if Persona didn't have auto combos and was more like Blaze Blue, the characters would be a little more fleshed out. We would have standing overheads. We would have, like, maybe fucking maybe Liz's 5D command grab would have been a 6D, and then she could have had a real 5D button, like a attack, or like. But I kind of like how I don't want more. I like the amount of things and buttons are already in the game. It's not overly complicated. It doesn't even need to be.
Yeah.
It's real nice, real simple, straight to the point. Gee, yeah, because like now that I think about it, Persona is like not even just simple in terms of auto combos. It's like simple in terms of all inputs. Like it's only quarter circles. Oh, yeah, it is only quarter circles and
Charge and down, down.
two down inputs. Were there any two inputs in vanilla? I don't know if that's the thing they added in Ultimax, but
Oh no, Teddy, 2D Teddy, yeah, for sure.
2D
okay.
Teddy.
And Labrys's Spike, yeah, yeah, yeah. There were
How did
two
I
inputs,
guess activate or game mode?
2A, 2B.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I need to think of something else, right? There's been a lot of like talk about moves in vanilla. Like, there's been a lot of changes from characters to Ultimax, from characters from like vanilla to Ultimax regarding moves being added. Like,
Hmm.
what are some like major like differences in characters? Like, what characters had moves that were added that changed them completely that they didn't have in vanilla?
So let's think about that one. So definitely, I mean, we could just start with basic characters like Narukami. He didn't have 236A. and he didn't have command grab, so no 236B.
Didn't have
Um,
Stinger.
yeah, it didn't have Easend. So when he got Persona broken, he had nothing. He had no
Oh,
supers.
did he have J2B in vanilla?
Nope.
There was no
There was no. There was no.
J2B.
There was no.
Oh shit!
There was no two J2Bs in vanilla. No.
Yeah, so like he just kind of like flopped around like a fish, and maybe got like something in a sweep, and
But
then that was it. He didn't
counter
have B
JB.
Feint.
Counterhit JB in vanilla was still very strong. It had like what was it, like multiple and air hit type shit.
So all air hits ground
Oh,
tech
it
on
was.
counter hit.
Oh yeah, it was. I forgot about that.
So if Narukami got a counter hit JB, your optimal combo was to do sweep 5D. You could just get a sweep 5D off an air to air. It was yeah. It was,
Wait.
yeah, yeah. It was
So
pretty funny.
wait, Yukiko didn't have fire boost? Oh
She
shit.
does.
Wait, she does.
Uh,
Oh.
it costs health. Yeah. So when Yukiko uses fire boost, she gains blue health. So she loses health and she gains recoverable health, essentially, like doing a DP. Now, some would argue that's bad, but you could also argue it was a good way to enter Awakening because her DP sucks. It has a lot of recovery. I mean, it is kind of fast on whiff, but Fire Boost was quicker. So there was some argument for that. And she already did a lot of damage. You didn't have to like she's not like Shadow Yukiko in 2.0 where it's like her main game plan is spamming Fire Boost as much as possible and doing damage. She already did damage at vanilla. She she was all right.
How'd you get shoulder tackle right?
No, yeah, that's not in vanilla.
What the?
Oh,
How?
so back to MBM's point. Moves that were added that really impacted the character they didn't have in vanilla. So Kanji didn't have shoulder tackle. So how did he deal with projectiles? Well, Axis was a Kanji player, and he actually brought to my attention that I didn't even know about is that every time he presses a D button, so a lightning bolt, his persona is projectile info. And that's actually
Mm.
really cool. That's a good way for how he dealt with zoners from full screen, and he didn't lose anything out of it. Because like if Yukiko is throwing fan, he just times his bolts to go bolt when they pass through his persona. They're completely projectile info, and he's blocking a part of the screen with his lightning while also moving forward towards Yukiko. So like he had tools. You
Didn't
know,
he win that matchup?
I, I,
Debatably.
uh,
That's what
uh,
LK
Is
says
what
though.
I heard.
L
That's what I
LK
heard.
LK got some spicy takes, bro.
okay.
I thought he's talking about Ultimax, but all
Nope.
right.
Nope. Vanilla.
No vanilla.
Okay, so Kanji's air backdash it felt like a move. It felt like a fucking Yosuke glide. Kanji's air backdash in vanilla went far. He teleported. It was very fast and it was very far reaching. So I assume he probably mentioned that his air movement was a lot better. He could get in faster, and yeah, I could see it. Uh, Kanji also had the I guess you would call it the shadow Kanji auto combo, the vanilla auto combo. Is very good at actually avoiding her DP because he kind of like pushes himself back. So he's very good against guard point DPs. I
Hmm.
could see it, maybe, because he also didn't have air cruel attack. He had no J214A. Which was another way for him to get in Ultimax, but in vanilla, he relied on his air backdash.
Okay,
Um,
that brings another question then. How did he? So if he got an air hit, let's say, right? How would he? What would he do?
so Flying Shitlord, J214B, would combo off JB. It had it had a less startup. It was much faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so your air confirmed would really be JAJB 214 J214B, and it would just hit every time. Um, yeah, it was very fast. Like TK Shitlord was definitely harder to react to.
Wow.
I'm not saying it was good, but like it felt a lot better than Ultimax's Shitlord, which feels like a joke move.
I got a question, bro. Like, where did the term shit lord come from for that move, bro? Like, what?
So, wow, that's a great fucking question. So, that move, I don't even know the name of that move. I don't. And Flying Shitlord was not the first nickname it had. Because the first nickname it had, I don't know what forum. I don't know if it was GameFAQs or if it was some like giant I don't know. They called it the Charles Barkley.
Bro,
They They called it the Barkley, the Charles Barkley. The way he like, I can't remember if it's because like he's dunking the opponent or if he is the ball. If he's being dunked, he's like he's like dunking you, like Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, if you don't know, he's a big guy. He's a big fucking dude, and he was also an amazing Hall of Fame basketball player. And if you picture Kanji as this giant man, this giant basketball player who's probably like six, I don't know how tall Charles Barkley was. Or, no, I'm sorry, is he's alive? Yeah, that's what they called it. That is the first nickname I ever saw of Shitlord, and I think it eventually devolved into a more accessible term. Not many people know Charles Barkley. That's fine. Shitlord. I mean, think about the whole essence of that name and comparing it to the move. It's a bad move. It's a gimmicky move. You do it because you got nothing else left in life, you know? Random SB shitlord across the screen, did they jump? Yeah, you got lucky. Did they not? You're fucking dead, bro. You're getting hit by Mitsuru, counter hit 2B, and you're taking like 3K, 4K mid screen. Like, you're dead, bro. So yeah, I personally don't know the origins of Flying Shitlord, where that came from. I only remember the Barkley, as that was I remember it being posted on a forum somewhere.
that comparison is insane, bro. Holy.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
That brought me back. I'm so glad you asked that question. That really brought back some memories. Yeah, dude. And and speaking of you know, people still call that Flying Shitlord in BB tag. Like, Kanji's in BB tag and a lot of like non-persona players play BB tag. And they still associate these like old memes like Vanilla had to, even today's newer games that aren't even, that's not Ultimax, it's BB tag. And another great story that Giuna has told. This is a source of Giuna, and he said on stream once that Chie was the original gorilla character. He said that the Japanese players they would call Chie gorilla. I don't know the Japanese word for gorilla, but they would always call her a gorilla character, and that's like the first instance. That's Giuna said the first instance of a fighting game character being compared to a gorilla. It's all because of Chie. Because I mean, when you think about like Chie players, you don't even need to be you don't even need to be a vanilla player. Just think about like the 2.0 Chie players. They're gorillas. They go in, they mash. IDJB, IDJC, run up JA, run up 2A.
What a five
Because
frame
like
normal does to a man, bro.
yeah, like that's what a low profiling 2A does to a man. You just run in, press buttons, and you play like a gorilla, mashing on some like little like ball or something. And yeah, That's another little story. That's from Juna. That was really funny to hear. And I think he brought that up because they were talking. I think I think it must have been like Leo in Guilty Gear. I think he was playing like Guilty Gear once, and like they were saying like he's like Leo is such a gorilla character because he is. He does the same thing Chie does. You just go in and mash buttons, and yeah, Vanilla was really cool. It had a lot of good fun jokes, fun memes. Um, of course, Domi Burst. I mean, Domi Burst was because of Domi, and Domi played Vanilla. I don't know if there's a previous game that Domi played where he would do his terrible bursting, but it was very popular amongst Persona players, and that translated into other games too. The Domi burst term is used in every fighting game with a burst, except for BB tag because you can't Domi burst in BB tag. Because if you burst at the top of the screen, your incoming character still comes in at the bottom. Um, and yeah, a lot of fun terms came because of Persona. Um, actually, I believe he does do a Domi burst at
He does it in
Evo.
top A. Yeah, he does it against BK. I'm pretty sure he bursts Titano Monkey. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Yep.
remember from.
Yep.
That's correct. Uh,
And then in like tutorial videos, they're always like, I remember, was it OmniX? I think he was making it, and it's like, don't burst Titanomachia, and he shows a pic of Domi doing it in top 8.
yeah, dude. Man, that's a
I have
name
a
I haven't heard.
question.
What's
Was who was the hated character in Vanilla? Who did everyone like to hate? Who was like, or was there a character that fit that criteria?
you know, I would let me think about this. That's a good question. I could at least say something about each character. Like, I don't feel like people complained about Narukami. He was just good, Sweep 5D. Everyone played him, whatever. I guess I feel like if you were probably fighting Yume, fighting a top player, like a good Aegis, you'd probably complain about her. I have actually heard stories, unnamed people, I will not say names, complain about a lot about Liz in Vanilla. They're one of my friends who played Liz back in the day, would get hate mail for mashing 5C against people. They don't
I
know what to
I
do.
know where this is going, bro.
I mean, and Liz was complained about. But again, this is just because like a brand new game comes out and people don't know how to IB. They don't know how
Right,
to. They don't know how
right.
to be patient. Like you just block 5C and then it's actually the worst version of that character she's ever been in the history of Elizabeth's life. It's like her and Vanilla is the easiest to deal with full screen. Like her Bufu isn't a threat. There's no like Bufu OMC, Bufu Dine OMC threat. Like it's all mid, bro. She sucks.
I
But
think I
people,
remember playing her at Taku,
Mhm.
and I was just so like baffled because I was like, "Whoa, she is so different. She has like no awakening moves, no one-handed. Well, she has one-handed sword master, but it's hidden for some
Yeah,
reason.
it's hidden, bro. I don't tell you.
Why is it hidden, bro?
Didn't she keep it though? Didn't she keep it once she got it, or am I getting
No,
confused?
Unsure. Yeah,
no.
probably not. Not
You just have to
100% on
keep
that.
track of it."
Yeah. I actually didn't know about it until it was in Ultimax. Like, I gotta be real. She's the character I labbed the least in vanilla. So like, yeah, I didn't know about the whole sword mechanic until the Ultimax showed me the icon at the bottom of the screen. I was like, what's that do? um, but back to Jordan's question. I feel like a lot of people would hate Mitsuru. A lot like Mitsuru. You felt so um what's it like? You can't breathe in the corner against her. There's nothing you
Mhm.
can do. You feel constricted. You feel claustrophobic. She gets in on you, and then what do you do? She just presses 5A JB instantly. Like, oh, instant overhead JB, mashing 5A, uh, sweep feint, throw. Like, and every hit you take ends with either corner carry because of Bidwa, or you're in the corner and it's Ice Mirror Oki constantly over and over again. In Ultimax, she spends meter for the ground mirror to come in. In vanilla, it's like the C version, or the D version is just on the ground. Like, the character was ridiculous.
Uh, well, quick question. Wasn't Mitsuru 5A like body attribute? Like there was no chest attribute on 5A, meaning you couldn't sweep that at all in vanilla.
I believe so. I believe all buttons were like that. So Narukami 5B, Teddy 5B, Mitsuru 5A.
Holy
Uh,
shit.
Pretty much. I think that whole idea came in with Ultimax. But even then, it was like you had characters like Kanji Sweep didn't have the attribute to go low or some shit. Like, that was added in 2.0. So it's like they introduced that, but not for a lot of moves, which was like, okay, dude, I guess. Like, yeah, I can Zeokar under Mitsuru 5A, but why can't I Kanji Sweep under it? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
that's that's when 2.0, I think, made a lot of that stuff make more sense. As it made zero sense in vanilla. You just got walled in by characters. Um, but yeah, I feel like besides Liz, besides Mitsuru, another big, a big hated character that could probably get you hate mail was probably Naoto.
Oh yeah, I was just watching a video. Did she not have the bullet gauge in vanilla?
Nope.
She had infinite
Did
bullets,
I?
but there is something I'd like to say about her bullets was that switching between A, C, and B was very slow. You never did it. You were getting hit. 2.0 made that really fast switching. So like she covers like the entire sky because oh, you super jump, now I'm shooting C. You're falling. I'll press A now. Um it felt like more of a commitment, but full screen, oh, forever she is pulling gun out, shooting, putting away, pull gun out, shooting, putting away, like nonstop. She controls the space. She controls the neutral full screen in vanilla. Because at any moment she'll put it away, put it back out. And at any moment she'll press 5D. Mind you, she presses 5D and her persona is invisible. For some reason, there's this reoccurring trend in vanilla where moves are invisible. So, what's the name of Naoto's persona? Little
Hikuna
dude.
Sukuna.
Yeah, the little dude. So, like, you press 5D, he's gone from the screen until you press D again, and then he does his swipe, swipe, swipe. Yukiko's Agi is invisible when you hold the button. I, I, I don't know why. It just for some reason. Um, but yeah, Naruto. It wasn't. You see, nowadays, you go into Junes, you fight Justin, you get hit by Raid, -10 fates. He run up, does throw, Shadow Berserk, teabags you, Hama, etc. You'll probably get mad. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case in vanilla because the way Naruto reduced fates was very slow. It was so slow because it wasn't even good. It was ass. Who reduces fates? What
It
matchup
was
was
more
it even?
like a gimmick, right?
It felt like one, though there were matchups like Kanji, because Kanji, Akihiko, they have a lot of HP. It was like, yeah, you could reduce fates. But the most important thing about Vanilla Naoto, which when you guys hear this, you're going to be like, damn, God, I wish that were me. You can only reduce fates once per combo. So if you were to do, if you were to lay down a trap and your opponent would get hit by it, it would be like -3 fates or something. And then if the combo were to go on, and then she would do a 2C or gunshot, it wouldn't reduce fates because you already reduce fates once in the combo. In 2.0, you can reduce fates multiple times per combo. That sounds pretty cringe, right?
You wouldn't even. I'm pretty sure vanilla. You can't even like the combo where you do 2C into gunshot. You can't even link that in vanilla. That just doesn't work. You can't special cancel it.
Exactly. Yeah, 2C you can't even special cancel. But either way, even if you could, it would only reduce fates once. The only way to reduce multiple fates in a combo was to use her super, the shotgun super or raid. But raid wasn't as good. There was no SB moves like supers, so there's no SB raid. There was only regular raid, and there was no SB machine gun super. You just had to do 236, 236B, and you could do -6. But that's not why we're here talking about Naoto. Of course, she had SMP loops. That is how you received hate mail for playing Naoto in vanilla on netplay. Because it was a slow death. It was a very slow, painful death of just seeing double fang, double fang, double fang, double fang over and over and over. But I feel like there is still a common misconception about SMP loops. When you bring up vanilla, when you bring up Naoto, everyone says SMP loops were broken. It was free awakening. Like you just like if you watch anyone play vanilla fight Naoto, they just sit there and wait for you to get to awakening and then they burst. And then now, you got probably 100 meter because you're just gaining meter throughout the entire loop. It's like, okay, you got another chance. With Shadow Naoto 2.0, it's like you lose 13 fates in one combo, and it's like rounds start, and you're like, if I get hit once, I'm dead. That's it. It's over. Where's the second chance? And of course, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the whole thing about SMP as a thing in the game. That's a long conversation. Like I'm not even 100% well versed in, but it wasn't an infinite loop. So you didn't get hit once by Naoto and died. If it was a bad starter, it would end at some point. You're going to take 6K. You're going to take a minimum of even like 3 or 4K if it's a really bad starter. It wasn't perfect, but it was still a lot of damage. And a lot of people hated it and was hoping it would get patched out, but it never did.
Mm.
It just, you just had to wait for the new game.
Imagine.
I think we can bridge it off to discussion like on how, because we know it affected the Western scene a lot and Japanese scene, especially when we see the interactions with Evo and the crew battle between Japan versus America. Very good, funny crew battle that you should all watch when you should get the chance. They did it in a hotel room, couldn't scream because they got a noise complaint. Well, that happened. We almost recreated that at Frosty's.
Almost.
Almost. That was
Almost.
a fire hazard, though.
But but like, do you have any stories of like local scenes, majors, how it affected those type of events for Persona? How did Persona affect, or Vanilla specifically, affect those type of tournaments?
Well, I mean, I'm not that old. I was in high school when Vanilla came out, so I could never travel to do any of that stuff. But I would watch them online as much as I could. TSB in New York and uh, Wednesday night fights in West Coast. Um, and I mean, a lot of names did come up. Like people like Lord Knight. Like people like can't make a career playing the game, but like they made name. A lot of people made names for themselves, starting not starting, but like the popularity of Persona boomed that for a lot of people. Um, and like we mentioned before, it was really cool seeing like top players from this game. They're Tokido's playing what, Mitsuru. He played Mitsuru or some shit. Like, oh, that's really cool. Um, and it felt really cool and nice for like the game you like and game you play to be like main game at all these different tournaments and locals I don't even know about. There's probably tons of like tournaments that I've never even heard of that had like a lot of cool moments. I mainly just stuck with whatever Spooky was doing because it was good for my time zone. And but Evo was huge. Um, I don't remember the main games at Evo that year. I'm sure it was a Street Fighter 4 patch. It could have been Super. I don't know which version. You had Marvel 3. Persona was there. KUF 13 for sure was there. Um,
Blaze Blue, Chrono, Phantasma, right?
I thought that not out yet? I can't remember.
It might have
No, I
been. I
thought.
always get confused with the Blaze Blues on which one came out first.
Yeah, actually, wait, wasn't it Evo 2013? Not 2012. So maybe
Oh, it might
it
have been
would have been out.
2013. Yeah.
I didn't do too much research for Evo.
Nah, it's
But
fine. It's Blaze Blue.
but it was so awesome watching that top eight. I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have, because that crowd was huge, dude. When you see that crowd, it was like that crowd was better than the Ultimax Evo crowd. Because Ultimax, when it was at Evo main game, it was in the morning. I knew people who were at that Evo, and like they said, yeah, it was so early. Um, but that vanilla Evo, I mean, you can just tell, the room is dimmed. Like, that was like late. That was like nighttime. Like that was prime time. Like that crowd was disgustingly huge. Like they had a big attendance for that one, and yeah, it was really special watching that Evo. I don't think I saw it live. I must have saw the VOD. I can't remember, but wow, it was really cool, and there was good character variety too. Um, no Narcomies and no Chies in top eight of Evo.
Wow,
Ain't that something?
What?
that is
Yeah.
something.
So let's go over who's winner's side. You had Yume, Lord Knight. So you had Aegis, Mitsuru. You had
Breaker Dave, and then you had
Breaker Breaker
Yukiko.
Dave, Stun Edge, also
Oh
known
yeah,
as
Stunage.
Hochan.
Yep.
You had the other Teddy player. What's his name? He plays Teddy 6. You got that footage?
Well, yeah,
Um,
I have the top 8 playing right now
yeah,
actually.
yeah. So there were two Teddys in there. You had Daichan,
Oh yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
not
Mitsuru.
the not yeah, not the Risei Daichan. I actually had Odadori explain this to me. There are two Persona players named Daichan. There's Dai-chan, who plays Risei, and then there's Dai-chan, D-I-E. He played Mitsuru and Minazuki. Um, different guys. Dai-chan played, yeah, he was there. He played Mitsuru. And you also had Domi at Evo, as the Domi burst. So you had Akihiko. So okay, so you had two Mitsurus, you had two Teddys. but still, you got Shadow Labbers, you got Yukiko. Like it was so cool to see these characters played at such a high level when all I got on NetPlay was fucking Akihiko players and Chies and Narakamis all day, every day. The most popular characters on NetPlay were Aki and Chie. I just had to make that clear. They were easy, and they're also. I mean, Akihiko's like everyone's favorite character. P3. Everyone loves Akihiko. He's like the most likable character besides like Junpei or some shit. So a lot of people liked Akihiko. So yeah, you saw him a lot on NetPlay. But in tournaments, you didn't see any good ones besides Domi. I gotta be real. But yeah, it was really cool watching tournaments. There was also the famous Banana Ken IK's Lord Knight moment. I forget the name of that
It
tournament.
was UFGT9.
Yep, that probably doesn't exist anymore.
That does not exist
Um,
anymore.
I believe Banana Ken said on Twitter that he hates how he's recognized by that moment because like it takes away a lot of his other achievements just as a fighting game player. I mean, uh,
Hmm.
like I can imagine it's kind of, it got kind of annoying, but like to be fair, it was really big for that to happen. And IK on a tournament against you know the like easily top 3 best NA Persona players, like it was crazy. It was crazy.
This is why we still have people coming in the Persona server and asking if we can combo into IK.
Yeah, it's all because of that, man. Because it's the only IK you can do that in vanilla.
Yeah.
There's no other way to comment to an IK unless you're playing Shadow Labyrinth in Persona 4 Arena.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at the top 8 right now. Bro, someone like showing off their body pillow in the background, bro. But this card is huge, bro. Holy. That's insane.
Yeah, the culture was a lot different back then. Body pillows. This was 2013, 2014, the waifu was a very popular term
Yeah.
I'm pretty
online.
sure
Like
like CEO, like I'm pretty sure it was like LK and BK when LK won that year for CEO. Pretty sure like BK got like a body pillow as the prize, bro.
yeah, man. 2010s anime.
Holy,
Oh,
It
bro.
it
was
was full degeneracy. Like anything went really.
yeah,
You didn't
that's
really care back then.
yeah. And of course a lot of as MBM mentioned, a lot of Blaze Blue players, they went to Persona, and the whole culture of Blaze Blue it's a little more wild, I guess you could say. I feel like it's past now, but like yeah, back then it was pretty weird. It's pretty weird.
It's
It was
pretty
pretty
weird.
weird. Yeah.
I can only imagine.
We're just glad. I'm just glad PFC Twitch chats are a lot better than Twitch chats were like before, especially when certain characters got on screen.
Great job, Lacey. You a MILF?
What?
Have you not seen that comment
I
before?
don't think Ware even knows what you're talking
Oh,
about.
he does it? Oh, shit.
I know Lacey the person.
Yeah, yeah.
I
There was
know.
there was someone that commented on YouTube when Lacey had like a first to 10, and he commented that, bro. Great job, Lacey.
Hey man, you gotta we take those. We take those.
I swear that's how Lacey gets his free Discord nitros, bro.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they must have said something way worse back in 2013. So we take that. We take that.
Yeah.
All right, but
But oh, what's up?
no, continue. We can.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. But I liked the Persona. The communities were all over the place. I mean, where could you find a Persona community back in vanilla? I mean, GameFAQs. I wish we had Mr. Krisuke Misu, Vanilla Legend. Check out his YouTube channel. He has a lot of old Persona clips of Vanilla. He was big on game facts. Jacob Ninja Elephant. He was a big game facts warrior. Game facts vanilla community was ginormous, and a lot
The
of
ga
people we know today came from game facts.
the GameFAQs community was who I hung out with in Ultimax, like,
Yeah,
when the game came out. That's
right.
I knew, like, all the names you mentioned, they were all in, like, we were all in a Skype chat, and that's who I would, like, get on and play casuals with, and yeah.
And what was that? What they had a crew battle. I remember Greek talked about it. It was game facts versus something. Ah, shit. I know Greek lost because Greek always says he's never won a crew battle before.
Was it in vanilla?
Yeah, it was vanilla. Or was it? I can't remember. I just remember they had a GameFAQs versus something crew battle. It was goofy, but like, yeah, I remember Greek was on the other side because he wasn't GameFAQs.
Was it Dust Loop? Maybe.
Oh, it was
Yeah, yeah.
GameFAQs versus Dustloop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Greek didn't win that. So yeah, no, like there was definitely like tons of these like mini communities, whether they were there or over there. Skype was kind of the main what do you call it?
Communication, like,
Yeah, app
yeah.
whatever. Because like TeamSpeak was more like shooters and all those other
Mhm.
Discord.
MMOs.
Yeah, MMOs, Ventrilo, whatever. Yeah, no, no. See, fighting game players, they went to Skype. So, there was all those like, we have Illuminati discords on Discord. They had Illuminati Skype calls for characters and blah 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 top players. But the more public open ones, yeah, GameFAQs forums, Dustloop forums. That's where the legendary. I wish I had it on me. The legendary Juna posts on Dustloop where the the Persona 4 Arena tier list like pie chart. Like
I
Oh,
remember you said
yeah.
that.
I've seen that, yeah.
it's the funniest image I've ever
How
seen
the
in my
fuck do you make it
life.
out of a pie chart, bro?
Tuna is the ultimate troll. I mean, ever since Melty Blood, he was shit talking people on the forums, and they were like, "Juna, fuck you, you're whack," and you know what? You're not even gonna pull up. And he was like, "I bet where?" And he pulls up. He beats everyone's ass. He wins the tournament. He's a legendary shit poster, and of course, that also came into Persona 4 Arena. I mean, shit posting on the Dustloop forum, still with the goofy like Japanese tier list, and he's like arguing with people, but he's obviously trolling, and people are taking it serious. Like, yeah, it was all over. You could see tons of names and people goofing and talking about tech and sharing clips of on YouTube. Um, wasn't very organized, but if you were in those communities, you definitely had fun.
Who did,
I
who,
wasn't. Huh?
who did
What's
you
up?
play in vanilla? Did you play
Oh
Narukami?
no, I started with kanji. I was a kanji player.
No, no,
And
sorry,
then
Juna, I mean.
oh, I'm sorry, Juna. I think he played Yosuke. There's footage of him playing Yosuke.
So him and
He played
Gaiman
like
both played Yosuke. Huh.
I don't know. I don't know. No, maybe because I remember there's not like much documented VODs of him playing vanilla. The one I do remember watching, I think he was fighting a Yosuke playing Narukami.
Hmm.
I could be misremembering, but yeah, that was one of them. I don't know. A lot of people who like plays Ultimax characters, I felt like they were kind of like lost with a main in vanilla, or they just picked the top tier. Like I don't know. I don't know where like Ken players came from. I don't know like what Sheeta played. I know Magaki because I asked him. I asked like Magaki, who did you play in vanilla? He said Elizabeth, but he has like his Liz is pretty good in Ultimax. You know, I can understand that. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure. He probably played Narukami.
It's interesting to think about how people pick their mains in general. And like you look at vanilla, like I guess I would play even before Ken, I played Recess. I don't know who I'd play in vanilla. It's kind of weird.
Oh, you. I think you would definitely be a great fit for Teddy. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, Teddy. Because you know, Teddy, come on, he's the best character. Hidden top tier, isn't that the thumbnail for this?
That's the thumbnail. We can talk about the secret top tier Teddy right now.
Teddy. Yeah, so Teddy, Teddy was fucked up. So as we know, Vanilla was fucked up. I mean, you had Sweep 5D, Narukami. He was like Carl, but at the same time, he also had his Zeokar save jumps. He just had fucking everything. Chie, the most ridiculous character they've ever made. +1 5A, sweep 5D. She has power charge Godfist, power charge Agonesta. Like she does her explosive damage. And she still has sweep 5D. She still has Carl Oki on a character who can one-shot you in Awakening. It's like, what the hell? Who came up with this? But then you have Teddy, the bear. Teddy's DP is a counter, as it still is a counter. But when you trigger it in vanilla, it was unblockable. Because you can block the explosion, the poof, boom, pow, whatever it says. You can block that in Ultimax. You could not block it in vanilla. But even if you avoided it, if you trigger his DP, is it punishable, Gold? Can you punish Teddy? No. He is 100% safe. Now you can run up and potentially meaty him, but guess what? He can just DP again. You can't punish that DP, which means the second you see a sweep 5D, you press DP, you get out. What happened to those top tiers? What happened in Arakami? What happened to Chie? What do they do? You have to play differently. And it's very frustrating, especially for Narukami, because he does sweep 5D, you instantly just like you recognize it, you see it, you react, you press DP, you just took a card out, maybe Narukami got hit by it, now he's berserked, you're gonna get hit by a 5B. Now for safe jumping, now Narukami can safe jump his DP in Ultimax. But like I said, it's unblockable if you trigger it. So even if you do throw with JB, you're getting hit. So you have to hard bait it every time. It sucks. That gives Teddy the opportunity to roll. He can Abare, like just mash like 5A, 2A, whatever. Teddy's very, very tricky to deal with when you're pressuring him because of that DP. You have to constantly bait it nonstop. It just gets out for free. It's lame. So yeah. Now Chie, I think she had a much easier time navigating it. For example, when Chie does sweep 5D, um, she can kind of fake Teddy out by not pressing 5DD. And it's a lot easier for the GA player to react to like be like, okay, sweep 5D and he gets up, he doesn't DP, okay, I'll press D now. But she doesn't have to press D immediately and just get hit by the Teddy DP. Like she actually could bait it easier. And because of her +1 on block 5A and her JC, you know, she has a good good time navigating that matchup as opposed to Narukami. But still, like when you look at the rest of the cast, they still have to deal with it, and it's like it sucks. Every time Mitsuru in the corner ends with Ice Mirror or main mix-up tool, you just DP it. So you can't do it? Okay, so what do you do now? I don't know. It just feels like Teddy's DP is so powerful. It's stripped so many tools from other characters. Shadow Labrys wants to throw out a random laser. No, I'm gonna just DP and I'm gonna get out of here, and then I'm gonna throw an item in 5B, and then it's my turn to control neutral with my items you can't attack. Okay, this ain't 2.0. We're not playing with those fucking toddler toys. We're playing with some real big boy toys. We got rockets you can't interact with. That shit was crazy, dude. And I ain't even talked about his buttons yet, but like
Stole that
Teddy,
backdash, cancel 5V, bro. Gave it to Narukami.
damn. Yeah, 5B backdash, the ultimate space control. I mean, he just did whatever he wanted. And the item recovery. Holy
Yep,
shit.
yep.
You press 5D, bro's already gone. To Dookie Donkey, whatever his persona's name is, Kablawi Bluey, Kadoki Doji.
Kentucky
Bro,
Doji, yep.
bro is gone. You're already pressing D again. You're already like navigating the battlefield. You throw item. Like you move with the item or you don't, but you're not there's no risk at all for throwing items. You throw an item, your persona's gone already. They can't punish you for doing it. How are they going to punish you in the first place? There's a fucking rocket on the screen. They have to respect it. Like, Teddy players nowadays dealing with Aegis is fucking absurd. But what happens when Aegis has to now respect a rocket flying in the air? Because let me break this down. Aegis with Orgia mode, full screen against Teddy. Teddy presses 5D, throws an item. She presses 2B. It hits the item, it hits the persona. She cancels off the persona with 6/6, flies in, she's in your face with JC. Now guess, idiot. But in vanilla, oh no 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 no. In vanilla, I'm Teddy. I'm throwing an item. Guess what? It's the red rocket. You gonna fly in? Oh, did you press 2B? I'm sorry, you didn't hit my persona. He's already gone. You, but by all means, I guess come in. I got a rocket on the screen. You got to respect it. Bro controlled the neutral. He controlled the game.
Holy,
Teddy
well,
had it
he's
all.
doing. I'm watching this. He's doing the dirtiest mix up, bro. He's doing the dirtiest mix up to this Narukami, bro. He hit him with like 3 cross up JVs trying to block that garbage. Oh my god, bro.
Oh, JB, you say? Now, I don't have the numbers. If someone could quickly pull up Teddy's Ultimax numbers, Jordan MBM Gold. Can anyone bring up Ultimax
I'll do
Teddy?
it.
Okay, because we're gonna do a little number comparison. This is one of the other reasons why I don't know, Gold, if you wanted to like start the subject, but if this game came back today, if vanilla, it gets announced, Persona 4 Arena comes back to PC with a port that doesn't, a port that functions in PS4, and it has rollback. Let's say vanilla comes back with rollback on all platforms, Switch, everything. I think Teddy would be a lot different than he was back then. I feel like he would be top one. I think we'd be
Teddy C.
living.
With the knowledge that we have now.
I don't think he'd be. I don't think he'd be Narukami. I don't think it'd be Mitsuru. Blah blah blah. I guess. I think it'd be Chie and Teddy equally. They're top one. I don't think they have a single bad matchup. And if anything, they kind of fuck each other over. But more so, Chie fucks Teddy over.
I got the dust loop pulled up.
Okay, Teddy JA. What's the startup on Teddy JA?
8 frames.
6 frames in vanilla.
What? What?
I
Oh,
get
you rated
screwed.
it 6 frames.
I get
Those
screwed.
toes were 6 frames. Jordan, JB, what's the startup?
9.
10. Cut it, cut. Yeah. So JA was 6 frames, bro. Wait,
Okay,
what was?
to be fair,
What's
it
up?
seems like JB in vanilla had 15 frames of recovery, while in Ultimax it has 18 frames.
18, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's 15 frames of recovery in vanilla. Oh, you were mashing that shit, bro. Oh my god, you were mashing JB. And it actually led to some combos that you can't do in Ultimax anymore. So mid screen, he could do 5AA, 5B, IEDJA mid screen. It was such a BNB. Everyone did it. Like it was very common to see. And yeah, he can't do that in Ultimax because his JA is too slow now. And probably because 5B pushes them farther away.
What
But
was the startup on 5B in vanilla?
um
On what now?
5B
5B.
5B, it is
13?
13 frames. Yeah.
Oh,
Is it the
actually
same?
12 in Ultimax.
Okay, yeah, I do remember, like, they kinda changed some numbers around, they kinda buffed some moves, but the biggest one that, like, Joey and I always talk about, it's the JA. I mean, that shit was ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're at it, do you wanna talk about, like, 5D real quick? I mean
I know the
Yeah.
recovery is broken, and I know that like it makes sense on paper, right? Because that's how he like keeps his persona alive, and he uses the broken items to begin with, right? Because if you can't hit the persona, then good luck. He's gonna throw those
Okay,
items
so
yeah,
out.
that's 25 frames of recovery on 5D. While in Ultimax it's 31.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Um, and yeah, so, like, Teddy, his mid-screen combos, his fatal 2C, yeah, I made that tweet and, yeah, I did say that, he can do 4.7 mid-screen, fatal 2C, meterless. Ultimax Teddy, I don't think he's hitting 4K. I don't think he's hitting 4K
This is
meterless.
the Margaret of Ultimax, bro. Right now, meterless 4K damage, bro. What is this?
Yeah, and, he was a menace, man. I feel like maybe, like, but here's another thing. Here's another thing, I do say, like, like, oh, if Joey were playing vanilla today, he'd be a monster, right? And, like, that's true. And I'm sure there'd be a lot of, like, other up and coming Teddy players, Gold Teddy would be dominating him, let's be real, fellas. Um, but another big thing I feel like is not talked about is, like, Aegis, for an example. I mean, there weren't that many Aegis players that really were, like, that crazy or even optimal, because she was already a complicated character to even pick up in the first place, and even if, like, you watch Yume is on another level. Like, you can tell Yume is doing tech that people weren't ready for, you know? Um, Not many people were dealing with Orgia backdash very well at that Evo top 8, and it shows. He was able to get away with a lot of shit. But like the Aegis players we have today, like Hero and who's that other guy? Who's that other guy? The
D-Star?
There's D
D,
Star.
yeah, D Star. I feel like they could find a lot more stupid things that character had that was either unexplored because Aegis players were just like, I could just do the same thing over and over again and it works. And like, just be able to abuse some other things that she had in the past. I believe like her Orgia boosts, like it didn't go down as much, like the meter when she boosted. So I could be wrong on that, but like I feel like there was still a lot of potential with that character who was just difficult to play at the time. So it'd be different. I think it'd be different than how it used to be. Um, Cause like I felt like with vanilla, it didn't just come and go, but I feel like when it left, there was still a lot to explore
I mean, to be fair,
and
it's left on like
discuss.
a version that it's like there's a lot of broken bullshit, like Naruto SMP loops. Then you got like I'm pretty sure there was still some glitches with Shab, right, where she can just link into her Titanomakia again afterward, right?
Well, Titanomachia didn't have a cooldown
It didn't have a
in
cooldown,
vanilla,
yeah. But I mean, like
but
it was,
there was a bug with
yeah,
it.
there was a bug with it. That's what I'm trying to refer to. Yeah,
Yeah, so if you break, so for those who don't know, Titanomachia is a super. You input it's Awakening super, and you input like up to 4 moves, and then the bull does them in order. Um, it's a super, and you can't break it. Can't break the bull unless you do a super. But in vanilla, if you broke Titanomachia with a super, he got bugged and became super. He was super Asterius, where he would move as fast as Titanomachia, but you're just doing your regular BMBs. So he was very, very difficult to deal with. Um, so a lot of times you would just try to avoid the mix up, or if you were just confident enough, yeah, you could break the bull and just don't get hit, Lamau. But
yeah.
it was a very oppressive tool that was a bug, and it really made you second guess breaking the bull. But if you broke, if she was on her last card, you always did it. Like just get her out. Get the bull out of here.
I'm pretty sure the counterplay to Titanomakia in that version was put yourself in the corner so you don't have to deal with four-way mix-ups.
Pretty much. Now, could she do the unblockable? Yeah, because Shadowlappers did have an unblockable in vanilla with the ground slam was a low, as it is a mid in Ultimax. So that doesn't sound very fun, but yeah, it definitely was a thing to deal with Shadowlappers.
Did people think Shadow Labyrinth was bad at first?
Yes, so when I talked to Banana Ken about that, he was telling me like, and I was talking to Axis as well, like they thought she was bad because, and like in North America at least, it wasn't until like Frosty Fausting's like 7, I think it was, when
Mm.
Banana Ken won against like a Yukiko player, but obviously Jabbers kind of shits on Yukiko. But like once they saw that, it was like, oh my god. But like even then, like Japan mostly knew about the bite setups like weeks into the game. They already knew. I mean, to be fair, they were on the arcades. They already knew about this. So by the time like when Benekan was explaining to me, like when he got the game, like all the stuff was kind of already figured out to begin with, right? It was just
Yeah.
he was just there and he knew how to pilot that character and all that other stuff. And I mean, for the Shab IK, he didn't really give a specific like how they found it per se, right? It's just something that I would guess you have to experiment and eventually find out.
Mm.
Especially
Right.
since you can hit that grab in the air.
That must have been funny. The first person to find the combo with the IK. Holy mom, get the camera.
That's how it was back then too. No clip sharing.
Yeah,
Bro,
for real.
I didn't have a capture card. I remember I had to record my TV a couple times.
That's what everyone
I
did,
was
bro.
asking for help.
Yep. A lot of Doompa, if Doompa's YouTube channel, he has a lot of Naoto SMP loop and a lot of Naoto tech. It's all like phone recorded. Yeah, yeah, Shalabris thought she was mid, bro. And if you ask me, oh fuck no. Oh my god. They should have had Japan on American net play, dude. Holy shit. You fight that character in delayed base? Nah. That's a GG's. That's a wrap. I always thought Shalabris was an annoying ass problem, dude.
And seeing Bananakin like tear through Japanese players in that crew battle was so insane. It
Hmm.
was so crazy.
Why he's the best.
Banana America.
And like that's still kind of like was a thing in Ultimax. Cause like even BB wasn't like as good as Bananakin in 1.1. I think BB like today is like the emulation of Bananakin's strength back then. But like he was still the god Shab. And he was still the one like inventing tech, finding tech, exploring the character because either no one else was as much like as fast as he was, and um, yeah, the Shab goat.
So true. Like, so like we know Sham as a character like rose from like bottom tier to top tier, right? But like, was there any other characters in vanilla that like kind of rose through that as time went on throughout the game's lifespan? Because like we can look at it now and like say Aegis and Teddy are really dominant threats now, right? Given
Mm.
our knowledge that we have, like were there like any other characters that have went through that process during the lifespan?
Um, I'm really thinking about that. I feel like I really want to say no, and I feel like it just kind of like opinion stayed the same. It would pretty much only Shab. Like there was no like, guys, this is gonna make Kanji top tier. Guys, like Naoto's actually S tier. Like it really just kind of just felt like when the game was like a year in, tiers were established, top players were doing their thing on those characters. I don't know if it could have got like I'm sorry, like at the time, no, like that's why I think like today that could be a conversation to be had. But back then, like, nah, I'd say no. Just Banana Ken with Shadow Labyrinth. If there was a Banana Ken Yosuke player that was, doing shit on the Evo stage and, popping off in other big tournaments within Japan or America, then that could have happened for sure. But that's why like if Greek today, with a vanilla release, yeah, he could probably be like the guy to boost Yosuke a tier up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm thinking if like
Um
you send Joey back in time, like what with his knowledge now and his experience, you send him back to when vanilla just started. How would that
Fuck.
go?
I mean, at least you could say that like Breaker Dave is like already a good example of seeing that. Like you already know there is, and I mean there was a Teddy player who was just dominating every local for West Coast, and whenever he did show up to a major tournament, he was top 8. He was top 2, you know. Like but like yeah, Joey though. That's different. He plays a lot different than Breaker Dave. Let's just say
Hmm.
Breaker Dave is known for 2 things, 3 things: uh, round circle burst, bear screw, and DP. Uh, I think Joey's known for blocking.
Teddy players don't like blocking, brother. You mash in the guard cancels, bro.
It's so true though.
What else you gonna
Joey got
what else you gonna
Joey
press,
got
bro?
that from Soji. Joey got that from Soji, man. Soji is the biggest guard cancel masher I've
He's
ever
doing it.
seen
He's
in my
doing it in this
entire.
video I'm watching right now,
Yeah,
bro.
I know, dude. He's the biggest guard cancel masher I've ever seen in my whole life. Every Teddy player got it from him, man. Because this dude plays Arakune all day, bro. He wrote the Arakune book. He don't got a DP. All he does is guard cancel and then try to get curse meter. Oh man. No, but yeah, so that I feel like that's a really tough question to ask, but all as I can say is like I feel like the players today, they could change the tier list. I feel like they could do it. Um like Akihiko was not bad in vanilla. He's probably like a solid mid tier. I feel like the vanilla tier list looks like you have your bad, your mid, your strong, and then your Narukami Chie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's not that many, like, it's not that crazy because there's not that many characters, you know?
Yeah.
And it was pretty equally accepted throughout. Like I used to look up like so many different tier lists, whether they were on GameFAQs or on event hubs or whatever it was. Like, as I just wanted to know the opinions of other people, and it was pretty much the same all the time. It was like people were like, "Do we put Narukami Chie in their own tier? Do we just put them in the high tier? Like, how do you order this?" And a lot of people just came to the conclusion that, like, yeah, your bottom tiers are Liz, um, Labris, Kanji. Next tier, you got pretty much the whole cast. Your top tier, Mitsuru, Aegis, Shadow Labris, uh, Teddy, and then I don't think I'm missing anyone. And then the Chie Narukami in their own tier, not ordered. Um, but I feel like that could change. I mean, Liz was explored. People did play Liz. I know Base played Liz, in vanilla, and like there, Domosu. I don't know if people know about Domosu, from Japan.
Yeah, I
He was
remember.
a Liz player. He, played Adachi in 2.0. I mean, sorry,
Oh
Adachi in
yeah,
Ultimax. But
that's what I know him as.
yeah, he
The
started as
Adachi
a Liz
player.
player. He started as a Liz player. So there were good players on Liz, but it was just like, ah, you know, there could be some hidden potential in that character in that version, but you're probably gonna have to play a lot different. Like, let's say if MBM were to
You would get
go
more hate mail.
from maybe, maybe, but like if he were to go to vanilla and play that character who has what 7,000. How much HP, how much health does she have?
7.5.
7.5.
Yes. Yeah,
You
7.5
have
and
a
vanilla.
Yeah, you have a lot less room for mistakes. Like, it's bad. Like, that health value is terrible. And yeah, you don't have guard cancel roll. So like you're in you're in the corner. You're in the vortex. Like, but the thing about, I know like Adarax would always say shit like Guardine starter was like 8K. Like,
What?
yeah, like she did ridiculous damage. It was just like, but don't get hit though. Navigate through neutral when you don't have your like awakening specials that are ridiculously strong. You know, she got awakening and it was just like, okay, they didn't get that much better. But but I always felt like there was potential with her. I guess Yosuke maybe. I feel like there could have been more Yosuke players. There were good Yosuke players. There were strong Yosuke players, but there weren't that many like numbers for Yosuke's. Um, A lot of other characters are kind of solved, but yeah, it would be really cool if that game got re-released.
Okay, was really hoping this game got re-released, and like, I'm just kind of confused. Like, actually, I'm just curious, like, why people like this game over Ultimax or 1.1 or 2.0 doesn't really matter. Like, why do people
Uh,
prefer vanilla? I understand more people played it because we can bridge it off to this next topic, right? On like when Ultimax was released, obviously didn't sell as much as vanilla, right?
mm.
And I heard that it had like one of the highest refund rates for a fighting game at the time. That was also a thing.
Really, the highest refund rates?
That's what I heard, apparently.
Mhm.
Jesus.
It had a really high refund as well. And I'm just kind of curious, like, what was the input at the time for like, why do people prefer vanilla over Ultimax?
Um, so there's definitely not one answer. There's probably a lot of factors going into this,
Yeah,
and
you'd be like, Guilty Gear was also coming out around the same time that like Ultimax was with Sign, I'm pretty sure.
definitely,
Yeah,
yep.
there's no one definitive answer, but I just want to hear your
Well,
thoughts, Jordan, as well, because you were playing it at the time as well.
from what I remember of Ultimax being released, because I actually remember when it released in Japan, and I was still on vanilla because I didn't have like a debit card, like I couldn't buy it, I couldn't like import it. So I was just casually waiting, and like the amount of people in the lobby, not the lobby, but like searching for games and player manager obviously dropped, and you could tell. Um, but there were still lots of people still like just getting on
I'd say the
at
fall
prime
off
time.
was a lot slower than it was when the port dropped. At least in terms of like people just being on the game
Yeah.
without having to seek them out.
Hmm.
Like even months after the game released, you could still get unranked, and you'd still like see quite a few people on. But like
Right.
I feel like that kind of thing dropped off like not even a month after the port dropped, and then maybe a short spike when rollback came out. But
Yeah. For when Ultimax came out, I feel like because now that Arxis is pumping games out, now that you got Chrono Phantasma Extend, now that you got Exurd coming out, and then whenever when CF1 came out, like a lot of those BlazBlue players, a lot of those Guilty Gear players, they're like, wait, what the fuck are we doing playing this goofy ass game? This game got Berserk. This game got Fear. This is goofy. And it's like
yeah,
the one thing I remember about Ultimax was a lot of people shitting on the game. And I'm not just
well,
talking about people online. I'm talking about like commentators. I'm not going to say names. I know for sure someone's name who's a complete dickwad on comms. And it's like, dog, what are you doing? Like I know you just want to watch Guilty Gear. I know you just want to play Guilty Gear. God's gift. Haha, XD. But like, dog, that's not on the screen. It's vanilla. I mean, it's Ultimax. It's Persona. Can you just give any respect to the game on the screen now? And it was such a common thing for top players to shit on the game and commentators to shit on the game. They don't care about the game anymore. I felt like interest for players was already going down. People weren't super interested. Like they've already put their time in Persona. So Persona again? I'll just go to BlazBlue. I'll just go to the new Guilty Gear instead. But they were so vocal about it, and I feel like that did have an impact. You know, especially when like you seek out these tournaments and you want to watch TSP. You know, and you got someone on the mic who just like is either uninterested, doesn't care about the game, or is just actively just shitting on it, which is just like very demoralizing to even like Persona at the time. And uh, yeah, I feel like that was so common. It was so common. But I love Lord Knight so much. He definitely just kept playing, and he loved Ultimax. I don't know how he feels about it now, but like I could tell my man. I always relied on Lord Knight to pull up for to a tournament to make it entertaining because he was still playing it. He was still playing it like at post Evo. You know, when the major huge fall off happened when Ultimax was main stage, bro was still playing it offline. So, you know, I always have huge respect for Lord Knight because he never publicly shat on the game. He loved playing Margaret. Fucking loved that shit. Um, but yeah, like other top players, other people who would just like rather be playing Blaze Blue. Do you know that Breaker Dave never owned a copy of Ultimax?
What?
Really?
Yes, I remember. So like Breaker Dave would always win the local. He would always win Wednesday night fights. He would always dominate. And like when Ultimax came out, he was not winning. He was not dominating. He was getting smoked because he didn't even own the game. Everything he did on Teddy was just knowledge from the previous version. And like, I'm not trying to say like, damn, my goat's washed like that. You know, cars. Like, I'm not, but I kind of felt that. I really did. I kind of felt that because I was like, Baker Day was very inspirational for Teddy, like my main in vanilla. Um, after Kanji, like, but like, oh, he doesn't even play the game. And it was such a common thing. Like, oh, like, you know, this person doesn't play the game anymore. You know, they're on this game. And it's like that's cool and all, but like, it was so common to just to also shit on the game when possible. Uh Never was a fan of that.
Do you think that also kind of affected Ultimax up to now
I think the
with
narrative
how
still
it's seen?
stayed the same.
Let's see. Uh,
With just a general like perception overall?
I feel like a lot of those old heads and boomers kind of moved on from even putting Persona in their mouth. So like, but uh, I'm not too sure about that. I feel like when 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 2.0 was announced, the only kind of thing that I saw that was negative for the game was the whole Leffen situation with Milpy.
What?
Because
I'm not familiar with this.
I thought it was
well,
Neither
just
am I.
I thought it was the no rollback thing.
yeah, well, it was a no rollback thing, and yeah, Milpy like you know he replied to it, and yeah, Leffen replied to it. It was like a little back and forth, because like yeah, because like when 2.0 got announced, everyone was like you know oh rollback, 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 but there was no announcement for rollback. And so I do remember, you know, Leffen was like, "Damn, that sucks," et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to paraphrase, but like he was like pretty much like I don't know if he used the term "dead on arrival,"
He
but
did.
like he's yeah, he kind of did. So that wasn't very cool to see again. That brought back some memories. Like, damn, bro, like the game's not even out yet, and look, guys, it has rollback. Like, what was the point of saying that? It I feel like people really just love to just jump onto hate, you know, when available. Like, this ain't like a JoJo's ASBR situation where the company literally said, "Hey guys, we're never gonna give you rollback, so eat shit." No, they just didn't say anything. We waited patiently, and then Mr. Wada, our god, announced, "Hey guys, guess what? Rollback on PS4 and PC." And we're like, "Wow, thank you, Mr. Wada." I
Don't worry,
and
rollback drops January 7th. Listen.
and it's like, dog, wow. I'm so glad I have a brain and I just have patience and I got my little reward. And I didn't have to be a dickhead on social media. I didn't have to publicly put the game down. Like, it's so hard for people, man, but like, come on. I don't know. So yeah, MBM, it did kind of happen a little bit, but not on the larger scale as I felt like it did happen a lot more with 1.1. There was still a bunch of dedicated players and top players who still enjoyed playing the game. Grover, Lord Knight, some Doompa here and there. Actually, yeah, Doompa. Well, I mean, he won 2017 Otaku. Um,
It's tactile.
Tactile, always when the game's there, he's still on. He might not hop on the game as much as us, but like, actually, saw him in the lobby a couple days ago. But yeah, like, there's still a lot of people who had love for the game, but you could definitely tell there was a lot less people who were like super dedicated to it. And
It's hard to
ma-
compete with so many other good games out on the market right now, especially with rollback being such like a necessity right now. It's like you have so many options to choose from.
mm. And for 1.1 at the time it came out, maybe it was a little burnout. Maybe like a lot of people were a little burnt out from vanilla, which is fine. But yeah, and as we discussed before, there was a big wait for the next Blaze Blue, and well, it finally came out on consoles, so that was really refreshing for Blaze Blue players. And then Xrd, yeah. So yeah, it's pretty clear just by looking at dates in the calendar to just be like, it makes total sense why vanilla was so successful, and then it makes even more sense why Ultimax was, I guess, a failure in point of like sales. It was kind of a failure in that regard. Was it
Mm-hmm.
fun? Yeah, of course it was fun. Of course I love playing the game. Well, of course I love all the changes, but it was like, you know, mm, that's kind of why maybe there wasn't a 2.0 at the time. That's why we have a 2.0 now, like, yeah. A lot of the money made from uh the spin-offs fund the spin-offs. So like PQ, you know, and some of the other, trying to think, like dancing games or something, like they just weren't gonna make another fighting game because of Ultimax not doing well. So
So it was more
it
so just vanilla being there at the right time. Ultimax kind of just being like just kind of burnt out at that point, and with many other new games on the arrival, it's very difficult to like, well, why should I put my time into this other than because I really like Persona or I really like this game in general.
mm. Yeah, and it's kind of sad to me because like doing a little, just kind of like scrolling down through the wiki and reading like the development and reception part. It's Wada wanted a sequel. Like the game was kind of like vanilla was kind of made as a standalone, but he already knew that he wanted to do a sequel. And I'm really sad that I guess it didn't go as big as they planned. And we're still waiting for another Persona fighting game that we may or may not ever get. Uh, it would have been nicer if Ultimax didn't come out so soon. I wish it got more. I wish Vanilla got a little more time to breathe and slowly move on. And when like Xrd and CF came out, maybe like we could officially say Vanilla was dead, but it would never be on a bad note. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Ultimax had a sour
They
note.
were they were pushing out a lot of it because I remember what was it? By the time like Evo was out, there was already even for both Evos for vanilla and 1.1, the respective like sequels were already out by that time, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure, wasn't it?
Wait, I'm sorry, for what? For what game?
So by the time Vanilla was at Evo, I'm pretty sure wasn't Ultimax already on arcades in Japan?
Uh,
Maybe a little bit
I don't
afterward.
I don't have the Ultimax
But like the time
dates.
frame between these games were like very short. I mean, for consoles, there was a big gap, but in terms of like arcade, Japan had already been playing this game for like forever.
Mm.
There's not much, yeah, as you said before, not much breathing room.
And yeah, and such it was a really weird time to live in when Ultimax Evo, when it was announced that Evo was gonna host Ultimax's main game, 2.0 was already out on
Yeah,
arcade.
yeah, that's what I say. Yep.
Oh, did I
No, all good,
zone
all
out?
good.
And it's like, okay, so yeah, so to talk about that, because like, dude, you couldn't imagine how excited I was when 2.0 patch notes got announced. Because do you know what was the number one thing I said? I said, "Damn, I think Shadow Mitsuru does a little bit too much damage, but I know Mr. Wada is gonna save me, and he didn't." But we were all excited for 2.0, and we were we were like,
Save me,
"Damn,
Wada, save me.
save me,
I
Wada,
remember
please."
when the patch notes came out, and everyone was pretty nihilistic about the idea of us getting it the patch like period, and there were a lot of rumors floating around about it. But
Yeah, for sure. And we all thought like, well, is Evo going to be 2.0? And
oh, I
the,
remember that. Hmm.
in the hopium, in the copium was that, guys, Evo's going to be 2.0 and it's going to drop today. And well, they announced actually they're going to play on 1.1. And that's like, oh, okay. Well, they're going to announce 2.0 at Evo. They didn't. Um,
I think that's what killed a lot of interest for the game was that whole like ordeal.
1 billion%, 1,000 trillion billions and million percentages of
Yeah,
true.
I remember that's really what made people like feel kind of bad about the game for that, and people
Mm,
stopped playing it as much, and you stopped seeing as many people on.
right. Because it was
Just
already
dark
like
times.
it was already like the kind of the things we were talking about earlier, just like a little bit of burnout, new stuff coming out. So people are just more interested in these things. And what does Persona have to offer? The only thing they have to offer is a tournament in America that's outdated with zero announcements. It's
And a
like
10 a.m. bracket.
a 10 a.m. bracket, and it's like, okay, I think a lot of people recognize that, like, so if Atlas doesn't give a shit, I'm not gonna give a shit, and I'm just gonna play Blaze Blue because they still got more patches, more DLC. They're still dropping shit, and then Exerd's just starting their whole like they're like, I don't know, the Exerd franchise, I guess. Like they got Sign coming out, they got Rev One, like they just kept pushing. Daisuke was like, "Let's go with this shit," and Blaze Blue was coming to us. Like they were eventually kind of slowing down, but they were still pumping shit out until BB Tag came out. And what was Persona doing the entire time before BB Tag? Absolutely jack shit. The last time CF got like an update was when BB Tag got announced. They also announced Jubei as DLC. So like, yeah, BlazBlue was still pushing hard, and Persona was still way far back in 2014, 15, whatever. Of remember that time we had a tournament that was outdated and we never got the patch for it on console?
Yep.
It's a very bad taste to leave in your mouth, especially as like that is the legacy of it. We have a booming start with vanilla. A lot of top players from other games are coming into Persona. So it wasn't really like, as you said before, it wasn't really like new people coming into the scene. It was more existing fighting game players that like got in Persona from there, right? And I feel like now it's the complete opposite, we're seeing a bunch of new players wanting to play this game specifically because they like it, or Persona, you know?
Hmm.
Interesting to see. I don't know. It's definitely interesting. The legacy that we have now, I don't know how I would describe Ultimax 2.2.5. I would say it's more tightly knit now because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you know everybody here. Not as big as the Evo ones. Our brackets aren't huge, but that's okay because like we know most of the people that we're playing against, and it's getting to the point where we're fighting against player matchups more than the actual matchups. Especially with the longer this game goes on. Japan, on the other hand, they've been playing this game for over a decade, bro.
True. But
I
it's
think
still
I'm
nice.
actually. Oh, go on, go on.
Oh, I say, but it's still really nice to see Japan's interested. I remember when rollback got announced, like Haitoku tweeted like, well, something along the lines of like, well, I actually have an interest in playing this game again because of rollback. And oh, without rollback, I don't really. We wouldn't be having the friendships and relationships with our friends over in Japan as we would have
For real.
today.
For real.
It would just be the same shit as it was back then.
Yeah, we would honestly we would get a lot more smoked by like everyone if we did not have rollback, like dead ass. Like
Yeah.
I would have rarely any matchup experience with most of the cast if I didn't get to fight those people.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't
I
have a
attribute a lot of my strength for a while there to just being able to fight Japan every day.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I can't do that, it just feels like I've rusted.
That's how I got, I would say, really pushed myself to become that level of player, especially since like I base most of my play from Japanese Ken players at that point.
mm.
Like I used to base it off of Axis. Now it's like it's just JP Kens because I'll fight the mirror. That's how I learn. But we do appreciate playing with our crappy connections.
I don't know how they do it. Cause I don't like when I do it.
Yeah, I
I
don't like
hate when I
what
see that 200, bro. And I'm
I hate
like,
it.
I want to close up. I want to close up.
You want to
I
go?
hate
You
this.
want to go for empty jump 2A, and it's like, nope, fuck you, DP. But I just hit the 2A. No, you didn't.
But for sure, JP definitely always feels like a good motivation for me to still continue playing because like yeah, getting their experience and goofing off with them, mashing DP 8 times against Sakumo, and then we like clash 2As or some shit like the same shit I do in like Milpy lobbies, I get to do with JP players is like the coolest thing ever. You know, I love that. That's a great motivation to keep playing that didn't exist back in 1.1.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the guys, like, you can argue the game's like in a healthy state right now, somewhat. Like, for me personally, I view it as there's a dedicated community to running tournaments and major events still hosting this game. And regardless, like when the day comes that we are like a side game, people are still going to be there for it regardless. And maybe when Persona 5 Arena comes out or Persona 6 Arena, maybe, just maybe, we'll see like another boom of players like we did with Vanilla. I'm very confident that we will.
Hmm. Hey, we'll be ready for it though. When they bring back Air Turn and Poison and Shower Berserk. Hey, they're gonna be
Don't
looking. They're gonna be looking at us, all right. We don't got to worry about Tempest NYC destroying every anime game. No, 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 Tempest. You got to answer to MBM and Mighty Joey now, okay? And Gold.
What are you gonna do when the MBM reset kicks in, bro? What are you gonna do,
Yeah.
huh?
By the way, Tempest actually did play Ultimax.
Played
He played
Adachi, right?
played Show at least in 2.5. I'm not really 100% sure who he played when in 1.1 in vanilla, but what they had a tournament in New York, and I remember he played Mygo was there playing Shadow Jinpei. Uh, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Tempest would still smoke us, like in every anime game. It'd be awesome to get another game that feels like vanilla, though. Another Persona game. Because like part of just like what made vanilla really cool was like I was just a fan of Persona. I was like playing Persona 3. I was playing Persona 3 and that shit got announced. And I was like, what? Wait, huh? Wait, now I gotta play Persona 4. I didn't even play Persona 4 yet when they announced Arena, and I was like, shit, dude, I gotta catch up. Uh so yeah, like just having my favorite fighting game also be like my new favorite RPG at the time was like, damn, that's sick. I really like I want to get that feeling again, you know?
I do too, honestly. Because like getting into vanilla and then Ultimax getting announced, that was good. That felt really good.
Oh yeah. I would really like it with Persona 5. No P4 characters, please. No more P3 characters.
Bro doesn't
P5
want to
has
deal
so
with Yukari and can't even see her anymore.
no. I'm just tired of seeing them. Okay, we all know that like what. Who's gonna be the new Ken? Fucking the twins, the Velvet Room twins. That's the new Ken and
Oh
Koromon. Okay?
no, bro. Oh fuck.
It's just gonna be they recycle character types. Uh, but I'm just tired of seeing those same dudes over and over again.
That is true.
P5 got enough spin-offs. They got Tactica, they got PQ2, whatever,
Booty cheeks, ass.
Hey, that's free
There's
characters. That's
not
a free DLC character, man.
okay, bro.
The
Me.
new Minazuki.
Remember when people were speculating that Minazuki was the P5 tag?
Yeah, P5 Hero. I'll never forget
P5
that.
Hero! That was hype.
It's interesting because there's still a lot of like files like that left in the game. Well, even if you look in the sound files, because a few weeks ago I was going through some of the sounds in Ultimax, and you can hear the announcer say one of the sounds Mephistopheles, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
what the hell? So I
What is
looked it up,
that?
and Mephistopheles was originally meant to be the character's persona. Like that was just what he was originally supposed to be.
Like the P5 Pro tag or
P5 Pro
Minazuki?
tags, yeah.
Oh, huh.
Oh, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
Interesting.
his persona was supposed to be Mephistopheles. If y'all don't know who Mephistopheles is in mythology, that's basically the devil.
Ah.
Oh, that's really cool. I wonder if more people know about that because that's actually because at the time a lot of it was like really like kind of nothing like concrete in terms of evidence, but I'd say like if you were to time travel and present that as evidence, you get a lot of people actually believing that.
Mm.
Like I can
It,
actually pull up the game right now and show y'all. Like I'm
Yeah.
surprised y'all didn't really know about this because it's just right there in the sound files, which is crazy. It's great that they just left it in there.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual plan was, if it was dropped or because Atlas does like to kind of goof around. Like I believe they do like to trick their fans and put shit in like their games and their like when they get like domains, they got like what was it, like P5A or
U5A. That
whatever.
was so annoying, bro.
Yeah,
That was so annoying.
like I think they know what they're doing, but like the thing
that's
about
evil as fuck though.
It is evil, especially when they've been working on the fucking game. That's evil.
for sure. But like with P5 Hero and a lot of that, like the connections with Persona 5 and Ultimax, a lot of it actually could have been dropped ideas. Like that actually could have been the plan to have like Minazuki and Persona 5 and all that shit. But like it also could have been them kind of trolling, but we'll never truly know, I guess. Um, Who knows?
There's a
Maybe if
lot of.
Ultimax was as big as Vanilla, maybe they could have kept with it, but maybe they were like second guessing because maybe this Mizuki guy, he ain't that popular. This game flopped. Let's just keep Persona 5 in its own little bubble. That seemed kind of believable to me at the time.
All right, I think that about covers it for a whole discussion on the impact of vanilla and more so a little bit about Ultimax as well. Kind of covered a lot of characters. If anyone has any quick questions they want to ask before we end it here, now would be the time.
Ooh, chatters. I don't have
We
the.
did we did discuss some questions that people did talk about in chat a little
Oh,
bit. Try to sprinkle it in there, but now would be the chance if you guys have any questions that we can discuss quickly.
yeah, I pretty much know everything about every character in Vanilla except for Liz. I'm not very knowledgeable with her.
All right, MBM, it's your time, bro.
What?
You booty.
Gotta learn Vanilla Liz, bro.
You
That
booty as
character
fuck.
is so weird. Maybe I'll boot up the emulator and I'll try it out later.
I guess one thing I wanted to talk about that I wasn't able to was the worst matchup in the game. The worst matchup potentially in the entire series of Persona. We were talking a little before. Me and MBM were discussing that. Margaret and Kanji in 1.1 is arguably the worst matchup in the game, but that's because Margaret players and Kanji players exist. I believe the true worst matchup in 1.1 on paper is Minazuki and Shadow Junpei, but Shadow Junpei does not exist, so I don't feel like it's worth discussing. But in vanilla, I think there is a matchup truly more worse than Shadow Junpei and Minazuki. I think it is Chie and Labris. Why? Why would Chie, who is the strongest character arguably in the game, have the greatest matchup of all time against Labris, arguably the worst character in the game?
Do you
Because what's up?
have any footage of that actually right now so I can put it on?
I don't. I don't know how could you find it at a high level. I'm not 100% sure.
Let me
Uh,
find it right now.
because there's not many Labris players that are even that good. You'd have to look up maybe Tectile versus Culpable, Tectile versus SQ, because Tectile is the best
Yes,
Labris player.
Zero Ken versus Tactile Eastside.
Okay.
I'll put that on.
Because the thing about it is that Chie's 5A is +1 on block, and that's good. Labris has a 7-frame 5A and a 7-frame 2A, and if you IB Chie's 5A, you still can't press anything. You're still minus with your 7-framer. All you can do is mash throw. Now, how fucking reliable is that? And well, what other options does she have? Well, she could just DP, right? Well, unfortunately, Labris has a guard point DP that's extremely bad, specifically in vanilla, because she can't hold it as long as she can in Ultimax. Because she can hold it way longer in Ultimax, and also in 2.0, it pushes you far back on block. Now, vanilla, it does neither of these things. She can hold it, but it's not as long, and then if she holds it all the way, it's just the same shit. It does nothing special. So at any moment, Chie can react with her own DP or jump cancel her 5A and press JC and blow Labris up into more sweep 5D shenanigans that Labris cannot deal with at all. She can't DP. Her super also is a joke of a reversal, as it is also guard point. So you can just react with God Hand or DP or OMC. Truly, Odadori actually reminded me of that terrible matchup at C Otaku when I was talking to him. It was really funny when he brought up like Chie +1, Labris nothing. It was really funny when he was trying to get that through to me, and I was like, oh yeah, she only has 7 framers. Because at least Teddy has a 6 frame 2A. At least like his DP's good. Like Kanji. So Kanji's 214C has invul on frame 3. So he can actually command grab through her 582A stagger. So if you thought Kanji Chie would be the worst matchup in the game, you are wrong. Because Kanji has answers to her stagger. It's just like committing to command grab can be very dead. That could be bad because she could just at any point jump, press JC. You're fucking dead, bro. But Kanji can do more to Chie than Labrys can. So I truly believe that must be the worst matchup ever. Shout out Jinpei players, y'all don't got it that bad, against Minazuki. I mean, come on. Specifically 1.1. Don't want to get that twisted.
Man.
That is a matchup. All right. The Locks.
Actually,
We'll just finish up with one last question the Locks have, and then we'll end the video there. If you can add someone from Ultimax to Vanilla, how would you change them to defend Vanilla's ambience?
now that's an interesting question because I actually wanted to talk about this, but I didn't really get a chance to because the jump from vanilla to Ultimax is very big. It's
Yeah.
huge. It's gigantic. New moves added, new mechanics, etc. Well, not even new mechanic, just mechanic, and some new attributes and moves, new characters, etc., etc. But you can see from the design choices, from like where they took certain characters and even the new characters, like characters were just taken in a completely kind of different direction
Mm-hmm.
overall. Like, so I'm just trying to imagine like a 2 point, like a Ultimax character like Rise or Ken, and trying to be like, okay, how would you backport that to vanilla? And it's really hard to because that's like, okay, now no command normals for one, and that means you probably have to take away at least one move that they have, or even several. And it's just like you're probably cutting their game plan because they're kind of fully fleshed out already.
Mm.
And that's kind of like one of the things I also wanted to touch on too is when moving from Ultimax from Arena to Ultimax, you added like SB like supers, right? And a bunch of other stuff too. And some characters, there's all their specials would be like, okay, this special move has a purpose. Other characters, it's like, okay, this enhanced special is just kind of, what are you doing with this?
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember like some people talking about, for example, Narukami Cross Slash, I think it was, right? I remember I was having a conversation with like Chris at one point, and he was or what maybe it wasn't Chris, it was probably another Narukami player, but he was talking about how Cross Slash doesn't really have a point. FB Cross Slash doesn't have a point because, well, what are you going to do with it? If in every situation that you'd use SB, you're better off using D for, saving meter. All it does is apply shock, and then you can't even put the shock on for that long.
Yeah. That's actually interesting because in 1.1, SB cross slash was faster than C cross slash,
Mm-hmm.
which meant you could combo off of it after second hit DP.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, if you got counter hit DP, Narukami falls. He had time to do SB cross slash, and it would do the Narukami backshot. I'm sorry I said that. I'm really sorry. It's the only way I can describe the animation. But yeah, so like you would cross the slash, and it was really dumb because that was off a counter DP, and they nerfed that because like SB cross slash being too like faster was stupid. Like it was really dumb. And the only way they could make up for it was buffing the minimum damage. So the only point for SP Cross Slash is that it has higher minimum damage. That's why you use it. You don't use it for shock. I use it for shock against Aegis. That's it. I don't use his shock ability at all because it's not good. It does not last long. But against Aegis, you get like one mix up with it. So that's okay. And she can't Orgia dash, so it's worth it. But other than that, you just do it for minimum damage. It's a closer. That's it.
Right.
Um, but yeah, putting a 2.0 character in vanilla, I don't think they would be able to hold up against vanilla's broken balance, you know? But I will say this. If you were to put Shadowken without touching him, like let's say like we're just putting all of his Ultimax stuff into vanilla, I think he could compete fine with
I
top
think, yeah,
tiers.
Ken.
Yukari probably could. I think Yukari would may have a problem with Chie. Maybe I don't know. Um, but like, yeah, when I think of like Shadowken, Shadow Naoto, it's like they without changing them at all, just put them right in comfortably. Don't like remove, don't downgrade them. Like they're as good as like the top tiers in vanilla.
Dude, imagine if Rise had sweep 5D, bro.
Oh. Well, if you want to put it like that, oh god. So okay, you want to make vanilla, you want to make Rise a vanilla character. Ooh, baby. Yeah, that's pretty good. That'd be kind of saucy. Might as well. I mean, at this point, for a vanilla balance, give every hit of her JB an overhead. Give what do you
Make
call
her
it?
counter hit Melty Blood Air Tech.
Yeah, for real. There you go. Um, make her 5B backdash. No, actually,
No cooldown on orbs.
no cooldown orbs would be stupid, bro. Oh my
Unless
god.
they just don't have that in the game. It would just be like slapping DDR.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I feel like Ken would be
Uh
the same. Maybe just like -1 super. Maybe like minus like
mm.
Awakening or Thunder Rain. Probably just minus Thunder Rain, yeah.
I feel like 1.1 Minazuki feels like a vanilla character. Um, so I think 1.1 Minazuki fits right in with vanilla. Um, but 2.0 is like that's a whole different breed. That character got a lot more going on. Because a lot of vanilla characters feel like incomplete, and that's kind of part
Yeah.
of like what makes them good and bad in a way. Like even Narukami, everything ends with air tech. If it's an air to air, like his JB Lion air techs, um, he has to end with like dive kick, which is awkward if it's like a JA air to air. Like it's kind of hard to like get knocked down on that character if you're not hitting them on the ground. Um, without meter and cross slash, like a lot of his enders are kind of ass. Like and he's good. Like that's a good character. Like Chie feels a lot more complete. Um, I feel like I'm trying to think of another character. Like Aki feels pretty solid. I really like Vanilla Aki. Um, I don't know how Labrys even functions. Like a lot of characters can have that problem. They feel weird,
Yeah.
and like Ultimax fixed that. Actually,
Even Ultimax, I feel like they could have a lot more moves, but it's really just held back by simple inputs.
oh yeah, for sure. If you were to Blaze Blueify Ultimax, it'd be kind of wild. Give give Teddy a command grab. He
Okay.
needs it.
All right. All right. We're doing too much. We're doing too much. We're doing too much. Stop.
Go back to vanilla, bro. You got it. Don't worry.
Oh man.
All right. With that being said, everyone, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this live stream. I'd like to thank Where to Rest for joining us. I put his Twitter in the description if you guys want to check that out. Thank you again. For future episodes, we might start getting into the state of every character. Not like every single character. Each video will talking about a specific character, and we'll have guest stars. Sometimes we won't because there's obviously not many. Like, I mean, we're kind of already experts in some of these characters already, so we'll be covering them ourselves sometimes, but we'll be having some other people join us in these discussion about like maybe like vanilla 1.1, 2.0, etc. So we can talk about those. But other than that, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Well, wait.
Yeah, okay. What do you want to say?
I really, really wanted to shout out a. Hold on, I'm stalling. Hold on. I thought you'd give me time to say this. Gachapin. Gachapin. Y'all know Gachapin? He's the green kanji.
Yeah.
He is at the moment. He made a tweet saying he's not really interested in fighting games, but I really want to give him a big shout out, and I'm just getting his YouTube channel real quick because I want to shout him out because he plays vanilla to this day. And I'm sorry, I wish I had this kind of like more set up. This is kind of bootleg. I'm gonna post this here. So Gold can put this in the description. I just linked to a random stream, but you can just open his YouTube channel and Gachapin. All right, let me explain. Gachapin, he's a very strong Japanese kanji player, and he's been playing kanji ever since vanilla. And I remember talking to him, and he loves vanilla. He said like kanji is like his soul character in vanilla. That's what he actually said. He's a soul character, and he wishes every day for vanilla to get a re-release, a remaster with some rollback. And he actually has a Discord where he plays with other Japanese players because vanilla doesn't have rollback, so don't go joining his Discord and invading, but like check him out when he does come back to play because he actually kind of built his own little vanilla community in Japan, and I love checking out his streams. And I hope he finds motivation to play fighting games again because I really miss those streams. But please subscribe to his YouTube channel. Gold will have that in the description, and maybe he can put it in the chat
I put it in the chat. Yep, I'll add it to the description after.
because you're not going to find vanilla gameplay anywhere, I believe, unless it's him. Like, and when he comes back, because at the moment he's on a little hiatus. Like, I think he's just kind of getting away from fighting games. But when he comes back, stay tuned because he does lobbies with people, and he's really good. And his friends are really good. Like I know like his friend who's always in like playing with him is a Naoto, and like I learned so much about the Kanji Naoto matchup, which is literally it feels unwinnable in 2.0 because of just how strong Shout Naoto is. I've learned so much watching him play his friend that like I can navigate Naoto easier because they're both very patient players. So please check out Mr. Gachapin. He's keeping vanilla alive in heart, in the love. Okay. So yes, I really wanted to shout him out. So thank you, Gold.
All right, thank you. If you didn't catch the entire stream, the VOD will still be up so you can tune in. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you all for watching. Later.
Bye.